Okay, good morning, grade 8. Today we're going to start a new chapter in Algebra 1. So open your book, chapter 10, lesson 1, page 686. Organizing and displaying data. Organizing and displaying data. It is a so light and so easy chapter. We're going to enjoy it. Objective of this lesson that we're going to organize the data in tables and graphs, and we're going to choose a table or graph to display the data. Okay, first of all, bar graphs, line graphs, and circle graphs can be used to present data in a visual way. So if I have data and I want to present it in a visual way to be in front of me, I can represent it by a bar graph or line graphs or circle graphs. So we're going to start by the bar graph. A bar graph displays data or data with vertical or horizontal bars, with vertical or horizontal bars, which means you can see the bars of the bar graph like this, horizontal, or you can see it vertical. Okay, girls, both are the same. Vertical or horizontal bars. Bar graphs are a good way to display data that can be organized into categories. Using a bar graph, you can quickly compare the categories. Okay, girls? Let's here watch a video so it will explain the first example that we have, a similar one to that we have. Again, if you will not see it, tell me that you can't. Just wait 1 minute.
You know, when we have...
You can see it, right?
Teacher, no video.
Okay, so just give me 1 minute. Okay, so...
Yes, now it's clear.
Okay.
Data, it turns out that there are lots of ways of looking at it and organizing it in order for us to see the structure and pattern. Let's take a look at an example here. In fact, this is a very tasty example, except it's sort of bad news. It's talking about the fat content of an Italian sandwich. Now, I've got it right here, and I must say that I can't wait for us to end the lecture so I can actually enjoy this, because it smells really good. But, of course, good things come sometimes at a price. There's dressing, there's cheese, there's ham, there's salami, there's...
Okay, the graph here, the bar graph here shows the fat content of an Italian sandwich. Okay, each content of the sandwich here has fat, contains fat. So they are representing here vertically the bread, the salami, the ham, the cheese, the dressing. Okay, each ingredient has fat. And on the horizontal scale down, you will find 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. So each fat of the ingredients will show how many on the horizontal scale.
Bread, and they all have fat. I hate that about sandwiches. And here's the fat content. And so you can read this off, the fat content. The further to the right you are, the more fat. So this has 10 grams of fat, that's the dressing, whereas the cheese only has a mere 7, right between 6 and 8 is 7. The ham has a 5 gram fat count. The salami, on the other hand, has 8, and the bread is 2. So now you can sort of see things from the data, and you can actually answer various questions. Let's take out some of these questions. So the first question is, which ingredient contains the most fat? Well, that question is basically saying, which ingredient has the most fat, well, the highest number, or the most red, which plainly is the dressing. That's the biggest fat content is the dressing. How many more grams of fat are in salami than in ham? So let's see. Salami contains 8 grams of fat. The ham contains 5. And so therefore, how much more? Well, the answer is 3. 8 minus 5 is 3. How many total fat grams are in the sandwich? Well, that requires us to actually add up all these values. So this is 10, and then we add the 7. And so if we add the 10 and the 7, we're going to get, let's see, so we take the 10, and we add this 7, and we get 17. And then we add this value right here, which is 5, and we get, now you might want to write all this down. You want to take this down? Take this down. Take this down. So we have 10, and then here we see 7, and here we see 5, and here we see 8, and here we see 32, and you want to add all that up. I'm sorry, here you want to see C2, and you add all that up. So now what do we get? Well, so we could say, well, there's 10 here, and then if we add this 8, that's going to be 18, and then if we add this 7, we're going to get 25. If we add this 5, we're going to get 30, and if we add this 2, we're going to get 32. So the answer, in fact, is 32, and that's the total grams of fat. Total grams of fat. Okay, and so now finally the question is, what percent of the total fat grams in the sandwich are from salami? Well, we know there's a total of 32. 32 is the total fat. And I want to know what's the percent that's given by the salami. Well, there's 8 grams of fat, so I look at this ratio, 8 divided by 32, which simplifies to a quarter, and that equals 25%. So 25% of the fat from this delicious sandwich, which I'm going to eat, is going to come from the salami. Very cool.
Okay, girls, back to our book. Okay. Now you can see the book, right? Right, girls? You can see the book.
Yep.
Okay, so let's solve an example that is nearly similar to it. Okay, we have another one that fat contents also of a sub sandwich, bread and ham and turkey and cheese and mayonnaise. Which ingredient contains the most fat? Most fat. Okay, in the vertical scale we have the ingredients, and on the horizontal we have the fat in grams. Okay, so the longest bar is the most ingredient that contains fats. So which ingredient contains the most fat? What is the longest? Mayonnaise. Okay, mayonnaise. Why? Because it is the longest bar that contains fat. That shows that it contains fat. B. How many more? As we learned since we were in grade 1, that when I find how many more means I'm going to subtract 2 numbers from each other. So how many more grams of fat are in ham than in turkey? In ham than in turkey. So what is ham? Ham is here. I'm going to follow the orange bar and go down. So ham is 6. And the turkey I'm going to follow till its end. Then I'm going to go down. Oh, I didn't find a number, so it is between 2 and 4, so it is 3. So 6 and 3, and I always start my subtraction by the greater number. So 6 minus 3 is 3. How many total fat grams are in this sandwich? Total fat grams. So I'm going to add the total of each fat in each ingredient. So the fat in the bread is what? Let's follow here the bar till its end. So the fat in the bread go down. Let me annotate here. Okay. The fat, I will follow till its end. Go down, so it is 1. Okay, the ham, follow till its end. I go down, so it is 6. The turkey, I go down, so it is 3. So I'm writing 1 plus 6 plus 3. the cheese till its end, and then I will go down. It is between 8 and 10, so it is 9, so I'm going to write it here. Then the mayonnaise, I'm going to follow it till its end, so it will be here. So it is after 10, so it is 11. So I'm going to add all the fats here in each ingredient. 1 plus 6 plus 3 plus 9 plus 11 will be 30. So the total grams of fat in the sandwich is 30. Okay, what percent of the total fat grams in this sandwich are from turkey? So the total and turkey, So I'm going to write up the turkey because the turkey is mentioned, and down I'm going to write the total. So the turkey is what is 3. So I'm going to write the 3 here. And down I'm going to write the total, which is 30. So when I simplify, it will be 1 over 10. So it means it is 10%. Okay, girls, let's continue. Okay, if I'm going to answer 1A and 1B, it is related also to the graph. 1A, which ingredient contains the least amount of fat? Who will tell me the least amount of fat? Least amount of fat means the shortest bar, and the shortest bar here is, who wrote for me? It's not clear. Bread. Yes, it's bread. Excellent, Aya. It is bread. So let me write here bread. I don't know why it's not writing. Let me try again. It should be written here, but it's not writing. So 1A, write it, bread. Okay, 1B. 1B. Which ingredient contains at least 8 grams of fat? 8 grams of fat, at least. At least, which means 8 and less. 8 and less. So who answered here? This is Tana, not me. How you are writing it's Tana, not me. Okay, Tala, cheese. Yes, cheese. And what else? 8 and less. What I have 8, less than 8, I have at least 8 grams means it has minimum 8 and more, not 8 and less, 8 and more. So I have cheese and mayonnaise. Cheese and mayonnaise, because cheese has 9 and mayonnaise has 11. So at least 8 means 8 is the minimum, so 8 and more. 8 and more. So cheese and mayonnaise. Cheese, turkey, ham, cheese, no, Tala, no, I'm sorry, at least 8 means minimum is 8, which means 8 and more, not 8 and less. I said it wrong. No, it's 8 and more. 8 and more, so it is cheese and mayonnaise. I want to write it, but I don't know why it's not writing. Yes, it's here. Yes, cheese and mayonnaise. Something wrong with the text. Okay, so 1A, the answer is bread. 1B, the answer is cheese and mayonnaise. Okay, girls? Teacher, can you go down? There is something wrong. I don't know. Can you see now, girls? Girls, can you talk, please? Because I lose my concentration and I don't disturb when I chat and explain. So if you can talk, talk. If you can't, you can chat. But I prefer that you can talk. Okay, let's go to the next page. Okay. What is a double bar graph? A double bar graph can be used to compare two data sets. A double bar graphs can be used to compare two data sets. A double bar graph has a key to distinguish between the two sets of data. Like here, down, there is a key. The red is football and the orange is basketball, or according to the colors that you have, orange and yellow, so or the dark and the light. So the dark is football and the light is basketball. Okay, so let's watch here example 2.
All right, let's take a look at some more data and see if we can analyze it.
I'm going
So
to
here we see a graph that shows the sports attendance at West Ivy College in various years, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, and the average attendance per...
Okay, this one. Now you can see it, girls, right?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, let's take a look at some more data and see if we can analyze it. So here we see a graph that shows the sports attendance at West Ivy College in various years, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, and the average attendance per game in hundreds. And what you can see here is the purple indicates the volleyball games and the green represents the softball games for each.
As you see here, in each double bar graph, you must see a key. There must be a key. So the key here shows that the purple is for volleyball and the green is for softball.
Years, this bar chart. Okay, so here we go. Here's the first question I want us to think about. In which year did West Ivy College have the greatest average attendance for volleyball? Well, volleyball is the purple, so I want to see where, in fact, we have the purple the largest. So the purple is the largest right here, so that's the year 2003. 2003. And on average, how many more people attended a softball game than a volleyball game in year 2005? So in 2005, we see that, well, it looks like it's about 1,300 people that attended on average softball games, but only 1,000, because that's 1,000, attended the volleyball games on average. So what's the difference? The difference is 300 people. And so I'd say the difference is 300 people.
Okay, girls, let's go back to our book. Okay, so let's do another one. Reading and interpreting double bar graphs. Use the graph to...
I cannot see.
You cannot see?
Yes.
Okay, I will try again. Now you can see?
Yes, but scroll down a little bit, can you?
Like this, you can see?
Yes, I can see now.
First line is reading and interpreting double bar graph. Yes, it is?
No.
What is the first line that you can see?
It's the first page, teacher.
It is the first page. Let's again try to share the screen. Huh?
Yes, now
Yes,
it's working.
now we can
Reading
see.
and interpreting double bar graphs? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Use the graph to answer each question. A. In which year did State College have the greatest average attendance for basketball? Okay. Here we have on the right, sports attendance at State College. We have two bar graphs, double bar graphs. The dark one is for football, the light one is for basketball. And the attendance, average attendance per game, thousands. Why thousands is written between brackets here? Thousands, which means 5 here is 5,000. 10, 10,000. 15,000. 20,000. 25,000. Okay, girls? And here down is the year. Horizontal is the year. Okay, so let's read the question again. In which year State College have the greatest average attendance for basketball? So we are talking about basketball. Basketball. So basketball is the light one, orange one. Okay, let's call it light one because colors here are different from my computer to the book. So greatest for the basketball. Greatest for the basketball. So I'm looking for the tallest one, for the tallest bar for the light one. Where is the tallest bar? This one. In 2003. In 2003. Okay, B. On average, how many more people attended a football game than a basketball game in 2001? How many more? So I'm going to subtract two numbers from each other. Attended a football game than a basketball game in 2001. Where is 2001 here? I have for the football and I have for the basketball. So the football is 20, but it's not 20 only, it is 20,000. And the basketball is here, it is between 10 and 15, so let's call it 13. So it is 20,000 minus 13,000, so it is 7,000. Okay, girls? Okay, girls?
Okay, teacher.
So, what else? Now we're going to learn another way to represent the data that it's called line graph. Line graph. A line graph displays data using line segments. Line graphs are a good way to display data that changes over a period of time. Okay, girls? Reading and interpreting line graphs. Okay? Let's try to answer this one before we watch the video. Use the graph to answer each question. We have the temperature here, and here in the vertical scale, and on the horizontal I have midnight, the time. All the line graph, its title is temperature on one day. The vertical shows the temperature in Fahrenheit unit, and the horizontal shows the time. Okay, girls? So, at what time was the temperature the warmest? Warmest means the hottest, the highest. So identify the highest point. Where is the highest point on the bar graph?
4
Here it is.
p.m.
Here it is. So when I go down, at what time? They want to know the time. So I will go down to read the time. At 4 p.m. During which 4-hour time period did the temperature increase the most? During which 4-hour time period did the temperature increase the most? So they told you, look for the segment which the greatest positive slope. Look for the segment for the line that is moving up, the greatest slope, the greatest slope. So which one? From where to where?
From 4 to 8.
From 4 to 8? No, it is going down. From 4 to 8, from PM or AM?
From 8 to
No,
4.
AM.
No, AM, 4 AM, no.
From 8 to
Greatest
4.
slope. I want to show you something. If I have this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. This line shows the greatest slope. And the last line shows the least slope. Again, the greatest slope is the first one. The first one. You see the change? This line is almost horizontal, sleeping. But this one, you feel it is awake. The slope here is so high. Okay, the slope here is lazy, is sleepy. This slope is in between. This slope is so high. So, can you tell me, what is the greatest slope here?
From 8 a.m. to
Yes.
4 p.m.
Yes, from 8 a.m. to the noon. It is written here in the book, girls, but I want you to use your mind to know, to understand. The slope is high when it is going up fast. You feel it is awake. And the slope is not high when you feel it is like sleepy, it is lazy, it is down, it is not moving, it is slowly. Okay, girls?
Okay.
Okay. Stop share this one. I'm going to share this one. No, now you can see the video, right?
No.
Yes.
All right, let's take a look at
Yes.
some more data and see if we can analyze it. So here we see a graph that
Teacher,
shows
no video.
course
Black
attendance
screen.
at West I.
No video.
Black screen.
Okay, let me wait.
Okay, here's a graph of data.
Before it was easier to share. Now you can see, girls. Girls, now you can see.
Yes.
Teacher, I have a black screen.
The rest of the girls, you can see.
Yes.
Leave the meeting and join it again. Okay?
Showing the temperature on one day throughout the day, midnight, 6 a.m., 12 p.m., 6 p.m., and here's the temperature, and you can see the range. So this chart sort of shows what's happening here. We can answer various questions. So at what time was the temperature the warmest? So when was it the warmest? Well, that would ask for the largest temperature, or where it peaks off, which seems to peak off right here at, well, it looks like noon. That sort of makes sense. In the middle of the day, it might be the warmest, so it turns out the answer is noon, which we can see by finding the high point of this graph. And during which 6-hour time period did the temperature increase the most? So that's sort of a fun question. It's asking for when are we actually increasing sort of at the most. Here we're increasing by that much. You can think of that as a slope. Here we're increasing what seems like a steeper amount. So this is even more. And here we're actually decreasing. So what's the answer? I'd say the answer is the 6-hour time period between 6 a.m. and 12 noon, because that steepness is the greatest compared to the steepness. And so that's the answer to that question.
Okay, girls. We have another part here. Let's share the screen of the book. Now you can see the book, right?
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
Next page, page 688. Reading and interpreting double line graphs. It is the same like double bar graph, but here it is double line graphs. Use the graph to answer each question. As we know that when we say double, so we must have a key in the graph. So down we have the blue and the purple. The blue shows air line A and the purple shows air line B. And here the month, letters of each month, and on the vertical I have price of the ticket. So airfare between two cities, okay? In which month did airline B charge more than airline A? Airline B, which is the purple, charges more than airline A. So identify the points when the purple line is higher than the blue line. Identify the points where the purple line is higher. Why the purple line? Because they are asking you, in which month did airline B, which is the purple, charge more? More means higher than airline A. So each word represents a color or a key word or a definition in the bar graph, in the line graph. So airline B, which is the purple, charged more, which is higher than airline A, which is the blue. So identify the points when the purple line is higher than the blue line. So where is the purple higher than the blue? Here I have one.
At S.
At A first, you have here, you see it here? Here I have one. You see here? The purple is above the blue. And here at S, yes, as you said, Tala, the purple is above the blue. So April and September. April and September. During which month did the airlines charge the same airfare? The same. So look for the point where the data points overlap. Overlap means the 2 points are on each other. The 2 points are on each other. Where here
At M.
yes, at M. Let's color it another color. Yes, here. Do we have another one? No, here no. Here the blue is a little bit above. So only at M, at May. Okay, girls? I think this lesson is easy and light and soft, and inshallah the homework will be easy, but not today the homework will be tomorrow after we're going to finish the circle graphs. Okay, girls? So our lesson is finished, so see you tomorrow, inshallah. Okay? See you. Bye.